Hello, everyone. Welcome to Changepreneurs podcast, where we bring conversations that spark change. I'm your host, Priyanka. Joined with me today, my co host, Shrish. We are extremely honored to have Aara Krishna on our podcast channel today, on our episode today. Aara is somebody, a multifaceted personality who is also a serial entrepreneur, and we'll get to know about various businesses or various projects that he's leading from him soon. Ara also is a Reiki healer, and welcome Ara to Changepreneurs podcast.
Thank you. Pleasure is mine. Thank you very much.
Welcome,
Great.
Aara.
Thank you.
So let's begin from the start, Ara. We would love to know who Ara is. How was your childhood? How was your schooling? Little bit background about your childhood days.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, Priyanka, and also Sirish. I'm from Coimbatore. It is a tier two city. It is in South India now with Isha and Ooty and lot of those factors. Like it is very well known. And what a lot of people don't know about Coimbatore is it is a very entrepreneurial city too. A lot of folks they finish their school, they do their diploma and sometimes yes engineering, and then they buy their own lathe and they start doing something for themselves. So basically we came up or grew up in the environment where we see people who are independent, who love their independence, and they are very enterprising. So that's what prompted me also, whatever my journey is so far, that is inspired by what I've seen in Coimbatore growing up there. And I did my schooling there in Coimbatore. I studied in Gopalnadu High School. It was wonderful times, and we all say that for our childhood, right? So, and it was like with all our mates, like we most of them they studied from kindergarten until the 12th grade. We all studied together in the same school. So that way, the relationships that we have built over the years, they are still my close friends, and we do a lot of things. Whatever things you see, like a lot of those evolved during my school days, and then it just blossomed over the years. And as a passion, like I've always kept that going. So from the school days perspective, yes, a lot of additional things also we got exposed to, not only the studies. I used to be in karate. I was a senior brown belt. I was also teaching for other lower belts at that time. It was a great experience, and I was about to get into black, but uh, there was a jinx. Like I didn't go past that one, and I got into other areas. And I love painting. I started with all the schoolwork that we have to do, and then I found that, oh, like this is really nice. And I used to love Tintin. So Tintin, I used to love for all the comics with all the beautiful images and the background and how well it shows the story. And apart from that, like I continued with also music. I started learning Carnatic music, and I was the only guy. It was when I was in fifth grade or sixth grade. I was the only boy, and everybody else were girls. So I was there for 6 months, but it was not that easy, and I was not practicing that well also. So whenever the teacher has asked me to sing in front of other girls, it was little difficult. So that's where I didn't continue at that time, but. I do sing now. It again restarted after quite some time. Probably 15 years back, I started singing also. Apart from that, the school environment was such that we used to have cultural programs every week or every 2 weeks. I think I forget the schedule, and I always got inspired to do something. Like I've sung at that time, like it used to be some movie song, or like we've done some dramas, and even from our farewell perspective, I started learning guitar when I saw my schoolmate's brother learning. He was an elder brother, and he was learning. I was in sixth grade or so, and the guitar was too big, but I really loved the guitar sound. I wanted to learn. I requested the teacher. He started coming, but the guitar was too big. I was not able to play at all. And later I stopped, and later again I got started again around ninth or so I started. And when we were in the 10th grade for our farewell, we did a program where two of my friends, like we both were learning together. So we both played the guitar, but it was more a lead guitar. So the singer was singing the song along with the singer. We were playing the lead guitar. So we were not playing the chords because we didn't even know about the chords, or we were not very versatile at that time. But it was a wonderful experience where things started rolling from there on. And once we hit college, that's when things changed, where I started getting into the college band, because from a college a time perspective, like they didn't fortunately have too many um, guitarists at that time. So I was given an opportunity, and there was a experienced guitarist, so he was mentoring me, and we were playing Ilayaraja songs, and those are really complicated and very nice, like very rich songs. So that's where, like, practically I was learning more than the theoretical lessons I used to learn before. So I'll say, like, I enjoyed all these other things more than my studies. Yes, I was an above average kid, but again, I was not really a lot into studies. I really loved doing all these other activities. And even spirituality, my parents had Arbindo Ashram set up at home. Like, it was a meditation hall where people used to bring flowers, and we used to meditate on Sundays. I didn't even know what is meditation. It was during my middle school time. I asked my dad, okay, what should I do? How should I meditate? He said, just focus your attention here and just sit quietly. That's it. So I tried it, but it happens when we do it together as a group, right? Like, you feel that energy, and then, like, it just happens. Everybody just gets in that mode, and it takes us to a completely different place. It was an hour's meditation, and those kind of activities, it gave me a broader perspective of life, not just about books and what I have to do in life, but more in terms of experience of life, I'll say.
So, as you mentioned, Tintin, it brings me back the memories of Asterix and Obelix also. Both would go hand in hand
Yeah,
together.
exactly.
Wonderful books. And I'm sure your friends must be very envious of you when you were attending those Carnatic music classes. The only boy amongst the girls. So,
I wish I
Krishna,
could do it.
you mentioned the evolution of your understanding of music, playing the instrument, guitar. How has your relationship evolved over the years from where it started and now wherever it is now? I've seen you play and sing on Instagram also.
Right.
So, what's the
So,
relationship? How has it evolved over the years, and what is the relationship today with
right. So,
music?
like, music, based on what I understand, that is something that is closest to God. When we listen to music or when we perform, we vibrate in a level which is the closest to God. So that's the experience I've had. So that way, like, always I was attracted to music, be in touch with music. So during the college years, as I mentioned, during my UG, I did my UG in biochemistry, biotechnology. This was in PhD College of Arts and Science, and I was part of the tech music there. And 3 years, like, we went to all the different programs, so we were able to perform. So every time we are performing, we are competing. It's not performance. So that means, like, we have to be on top of our game. So we won some prizes. We were not on the top all the time. And my PG, I did. MBA in Information Systems and Finance. This was in PSG. So this is where we had. I was part of the tech music. So tech music. It was a fantastic team we had. Everybody was really amazing. And in my final year, we went to almost 30 or 35 colleges to compete in the intercultural programs, and we were always number one. We never came number two or number three. So that is the best part about the whole experience, being with the best team and enjoying that whole experience part. And after college, yes, work. Like I was working in Chennai. We first started in Coimbatore. We were building our own e-commerce company, true to the Coimbatore origins, like the Satya movie time. That's when it got released, the Tamil version of it. So very similar to that. Like we were trying to build something together, and it was going well. Like we were ahead of our times. We didn't have the experience. We didn't know about how to build a product until it was little late. And by the time we were ready to build a product, it was around 2001 time. We went to VCs also, but they said you are late. The dot-com bubble just burst, so we didn't get enough funding. So then I entered the corporate life. So the period of 2 years was more focused on building something, not much in music. And later, when I went to Chennai, I was invited to be part of a studio where A.R. Rahman's students were also, like the KM studio A.R. Rahman has. Like he didn't have a separate place. There was another place where he was giving training for all the digital music, all those aspects. So I was invited by my college mate, but I had my own blog. It was around, she said, "Oh, you do composing." Like, even when I was in my UG, I did a composing of 45 seconds music. I got a CD. It was Cakewalk Pro Audio, so it was digital music. At home, I composed it. And I went and I played it. Like, people didn't understand what I was doing, because I went there. I said, okay, like, here's the CD, please play it. It was in an inter-college competition, or like it was a program. And after I did that, like, my college mate knew that I like composing, so that's why she said, why don't you come and take a course here. I had a blog. I said, like, no, composing should come from inside. How can somebody teach composing? So I didn't realize, like, there is a whole full aspect of audio engineering and a lot of different aspects that come along with it, so that we can present the music really well. I regretted it later, but this dream never went away. I continued with music. Like, for example, we relocated to Thailand for work. I was working for a mobile company there, and then later for the international airport. I don't know if you have been to Thailand, Bangkok. Swarnabhumi Airport. I was the integration architect for the airport information management systems, and it was a 4 year project. It was a fantastic journey, meeting different people and building everything from scratch. And my wife even now tells, like, the first thing I bought when we went there was to buy a guitar, not even other supplies and things for home. So, because, like, I missed that music part so much. Like, I knew that that is something where I'm myself. So that is where it continued. And even when we were in Europe, like, I was in Belgium for working for Johnson for an year. Even at that time, I had music like with me. I bought my first MIDI keyboard. I just gave it to my son's friend as a gift, like a Roland one. And this I used to compose songs at that time also. Like, I was making some music, but it was all just music. Like, it was not with the voice. It was just layers of music. And even after I came to US, 2008, I came here. And again, like, there was a gap, like, for a couple of years. I was not in touch because I was just settling in, and I didn't have much time or space for that. And for an year, I was living in California. So US, I came to the East Coast, to Charlotte area, and that is where I'm currently living with my family. But in between, I used to work for Satyam Computers. I don't know if you remember the Satyam story. So when the Satyam saga happened, I was here in US, and then, like, we had to travel back to India because nobody wanted to have us as a risky partner there working with them. So when after I came back, like within a month or so, like I got a project in California, so I traveled back. And family said no, it's enough of traveling. So we had two kids at the time. A son was 4, daughter was born at that time, so she was around 6 months old. And we thought it is better for family to settle down in one place until I find a single place to settle down. Because consulting, like we travel around the world, so it was between continents, as you heard my story so far, right? So that is where, like, when I was in California, I had a lot of time, and I was. Uh, I'm so inspired by Apple, Steve Jobs, and I bought my first um, I mean Mac. It is still there. It is still working, but not as well. This was in 2009 I bought it. And as soon as I bought it, like, I composed my first remix of Ilayaraja's song Raj Raja Soran. And I remixed it, and I bought a iPod for my son. And then I loaded that song also. Like, I also sang the song. That was the first time I sang along with the music. And then I sent the iPod to him because he used to love the song. And whenever he wants to sleep, like, my wife used to say, okay, why don't you sing the song on phone? So, like, that's how it was a great way for me to pull together. And again, there was a gap after I came back here, but I found set of folks, like, who were also interested in music. So that's how it got restarted again. 2016, I had to travel to India to take care of my mom. She had a brain surgery. She was a doctor, and she never had any challenges with her life. Like, she never had any medications before. But when it hit, like, it was kind of she was bedridden for almost 5 years. So that's when, like, as soon as the operation happened, neurosurgery happened, like, I was there in India. I was almost there for 8 months period. So that is when I met my college mate. Like, he traveled to meet me, and he used to be my bandmate in my PG, in my PhD days. And that is where, like, we thought, okay, like, we should do something. And then, okay, let's start with friendship. So, and we created our first song as a band. Like, we formed a band called as Avatars Band, Avatars Band. And we composed our first song in studio in Coimbatore. And then, like, we also shot a video. And we had lyrics written in Hindi by Puneet Sharma. He is the Sanju movie lyricist, like Sanju movie, like a lot of other movies also is done. And in Malayalam, Sashi Kumar, for like, he's also famous lyricist in Malayalam. And for Tamil, like, we wrote the lyrics. Like, it was my friend who wrote the lyrics for Tamil. And there is an English portion also. I wrote the lyrics for the English portion, and we composed the whole song. And we released it. It was a great experience. Finally, our dream coming together, where this is something that we have been thinking of doing. For as of now, like, we have done around 11 or so originals, and they are in like, as I mentioned, Hindi, Malayalam, Tamil, and also English. We've got three originals on Spotify, Apple Music, all the streaming channels. So all the other originals are still regional originals are still on YouTube. We wanted to release it as one album, so it is still on hold. We are adding few more songs there. So, and after we got settled down here, we found like-minded folks within my community where we live. Around 450 homes are there in our community. And we have a band called as Melodic Triads. And we it is a live performance band that we do here in Charlotte. Every week we perform. Last Sunday also we performed in the rest, and the week before it was a private event. So that way, like, music is has been a very integral part. And certainly, if there is one of the things which helps me to forget everything else and just be in the zone, right? Like, I don't even know how many hours I spend sometimes when I said, I forget that I have to eat or whatever, right? Like that is what is a passion, right? So this is one of the key things that I really enjoy doing. And certainly I want to spend more time on this. So that's where like all the different initiatives that I'm working on is to see which one can click so that it can give me that more time freedom that I need and more resources that I want so that we can do more with music.
That's really incredible, Ara. And I think music has been your sadhana, is what I will say, because I remember you said, when you are into music, you're yourself. You said, I'm myself when you are around music. So I just now have a small request, and I'm not sure if you're going to take that. We want to listen maybe one song or two song before we move to the next section of our, recordings. Anything
Sure,
that comes to your mind, Ara?
sure. Yeah, I love this song. This is Ilayaraja's song. He, I think it was in the 90s, it was composed. And this song also was released in Hindi as in the Chinikam title song. So I'll sing the Tamil version of it. Manram. I have a guitar too. If I can quickly
You
use
just
it.
got lucky. Yeah, please. I didn't expect that you will be hiding your guitar somewhere, but that is
It's
great.
always
That is great.
there by my desk, so yes, I
Go for
can.
it.
And Ara, I request if possible, just if you could just switch from Tamil to Hindi for probably a couple of words or whatever.
Line, yeah, sure.
For
It'll
all
be
our
gratitude.
Hindi listeners, right?
Right, for sure. மன்றம் வந்த தென்றலுக்கு மஞ்சம் வர நெஞ்சமில்லையோ அன்பே என் அன்பே தொட்டவுடன் சுட்டதென்ன கட்டழகு வட்ட நீலவோ கண்ணே என் கண்ணே பூபாளமே கூடாதென்னும் வானம் உண்டோ சொல் மன்றம் வந்த தென்றலுக்கு மஞ்சம் வர நெஞ்சமில்லையோ அன்பே என் அன்பே தாமரை மேல் நீர்த்துளி தலைவனும் தலைவியும் வாழ்வதென்ன மன்பர்கள் போலே வாழ்வதற்கு மாலையும் மேளமும் தேவையென்ன சொந்தங்களே இல்லாமல் வந்த பாசம் கொள்ளாமல் பூவே உன் வாழ்க்கைதான் என்று சொல் कम है चीनी कम है तुम में है मुझ में है दम में हम गले हो रे दम में हम रा 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 Sorry, I don't remember the lyrics.
Thank you so much, Ara.
Thank
Is
you.
it the first
Ara,
time on our channel that we have a live performance? I think so.
I didn't
Thank you
think
so
about it, but it just flowed as you asked. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you so
you
much.
made our day, Ara. Honestly, it's a beautiful song to start the day
Very
with.
nice. Yes.
And
Jai Sri Ram.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, taking it forward, Ara, music and spirituality are aligned together. So your journey into spirituality started at home, and how has
Correct.
it progressed now?
Correct. So I uh, was exposed to different spiritual practices. The way they say it, based on our readiness, the guru will connect to us. Like sometimes we need not even search for a guru. Not sometimes, like all the time. Like we think we are searching for a guru, but the guru searches for us. All that we need to do is make sure that we are really ready and working on our practices, whatever have been given so far. So that is how the journey was. I started with the Aurobindo ashram with all the meditations. I know there are a lot of books, Aurobindo and Meera Mother, they have written, but I have not read any of the books. Even now, I have not read. When I go to India, like that's the plan. Like my parents have so many collection of books. Like I want to start reading some of those also. The next one I was exposed to was Raj Yoga, Brahma Kumari's Raj Yoga. I was with them for almost 4 or 5 years during my high school time and my UG time. I was with them. I've gone to Mount Abu also multiple times. I really enjoyed all the meditation and also the knowledge that comes along with that. And then in the meanwhile, I was also exposed to Osho. Like my whenever I used to speak about Raj Yoga, like my college mates in school, they said, "Oh, you should read some books of Osho." So I was reading some books of Osho also. And around 2001 time, I was traveling in Coimbatore. It was just a casual drive in the evening, and I saw a banner Osho Day, and I saw okay, like I like Osho. Like I was already a fan of Osho, based on all the books, and I thought, okay, let me find out what it is. I went there. I was expecting a stage and people chairs and people will be sitting and people will be talking about Osho, etc. But it was nothing. Like it was just a open hall, no chairs. And when it was time, I just reached at the exact time. Like as soon as I reached, within 5 minutes or 10 minutes the program started. And they said, okay, we're going to do Kundalini meditation. And he said, 4 stages, just follow me. And everybody were doing it. Maybe around 50 or 100 people were there. I don't remember it fully, because it was long back. And after that, like there was a video of Osho they showed. When I read the books, I could see every sentence just unlocks. And then when I was hearing him live for the first time, because 2001 we didn't have YouTube and all those things, so it was a video cassette that they had and they played. Oh, it was amazing, just the way the books are, like the words are, because people are saying, oh, like they have a lot of good people to edit, so it is not the same way he speaks. But when I saw, like I was blown away, like, and it was like from his consciousness, each and every word that comes was coming to unlock. And after that, like there was music again, and they said, okay, we will dance. And I always loved dancing too. And after all this the whole exercise, I came out, I was feeling completely drunk, as if I had some 10 rounds of intoxication. Like it was not like they didn't offer me any water or there was no smoke, nothing. It was just the happiness within ourselves, or the energy within ourselves, that just opened up. And these are the wonderful things that are there in life. We don't need any external stimuli. Like all that we need is just to do the right practices in the right order, and then like we can explore. So that was one thing. But again, Osho had a taboo, right? Like so, when my parents heard about Osho, they said, okay, okay, very nice to know, but you focus on other things. And then they try to distract me. But I still love Osho. Like I still read a lot of Osho books, and he's really fantastic. I'm a fan of Osho. I'll say, like I'll be fan for life. And next to that like was so it is like on one extreme Raj Yoga, the other extreme is Osho, and then I got exposed to Isha. So there was a program that they were doing in my office. I used to work for Ford in Tidal Park in Chennai, and they had a program for Isha, and then that was the initial one before inner engineering. I think it was called a Shambhavi program, and I did that. It was a good one, but it was little difficult to follow because I had to make sounds like peacock and crow, etc. And again, a shared space like bachelor days. I cannot do that to wake up my roommates; they'll kick me out. So I couldn't continue with the practices. And after marriage and everything, again I got exposed to Osha when I was in Isha when I was in California. So this was in 2009. I did the inner engineering program. I went and spoke to the instructor, the teacher, saying like I've already done a program. They said no, this is a different program. You should try it, and I'm really glad I did that. So that was again a kickstart for me from the spiritual journey perspective. A lot of times that is how the spiritual journey is, right? Like unless we have some practices which are happening consistently, we are not going to be in touch with ourselves, right? Like that's the whole idea. And if we are in touch with ourselves, then we'll be in touch with God. So then I ended up when I came to Coimbatore, I did the Bhavaspandana program. Just when I was in a vacation in Coimbatore, they had that second level within Isha, and I was able to do it in the Isha Center itself. So that was an amazing experience again. So every practice like has been helping me to process my past, like let go of whatever burden that we carry from the past, like a lot of things we carry, right? Like it might be some guilt or shame, whatever experiences we have had in our past, so those become a burden. So that's what happened with each of these different practices that I was doing. So I continued with the Isha. Then a friend suggested to me, oh, you should try art of living. For me, you should do it. I said okay, I'll do. And then I did the Swadashan Kriya also. So Isha was a little bit intense. Swadashan Kriya was a little bit on a subtler side, but the final effect was still the same. It's finally all about clearing our energy flow, right? So last year I was exposed to Mahavatar Babaji. So I started from last year Mahashivratri. So I had one program. Her name is Soundarya Nagaraj. She is based out of Coimbatore, and I saw some YouTube videos, and she was. I felt like yeah, she's talking very clearly, and it makes a lot of sense. And then I started attending. It's all Zoom classes, so like I was able to attend from here, and I got a lot of things like pranayamas and mantras and all those different aspects. And then like I had a challenge, a personal challenge in my life. Our son, like who was 21 years old, he met with a motorcycle accident just a minute away from home, and um, it was an instant thing. Like we didn't even get any chance to do anything. So uh, though those things like as you know, like no parent should go through this, and he was at his prime. He was a fantastic kid, very kind hearted, and like he used to love animals. He was studying to be a vet. He was in the second year college, and because of whatever support have been receiving, so it was at least like I was able to see how I can handle it. So if the spirituality was not there, I would have become either an addict or I would have gone mad, because I didn't know how to handle. As you know, like some of these things are like not easy for us to handle. So it was more like God uh, guiding me or telling me that, okay, I cannot prevent some things from your life from happening, but all I can do is give you a rope. If you catch the rope, okay, you can survive. Otherwise, yeah, it's up to you, kind of a thing. And somehow, like since Mahashivratri of last year, I was every day I was doing the practices. Somehow, like I was getting that flow, and wherever I was, like I was traveling a lot because I went full time with my businesses around February of last year, and that's when like Mahashivratri was around March. So then from then on, like when I was traveling, like I was in Canada, I was in Atlanta, Texas, wherever I was traveling, I was practicing every day in the morning without fail. So it was more like the prep was there, and then uh, from when it happened, it was more a shock, as anybody will go through. I didn't even know how to handle. And then like only thing I remembered is, okay, I learned some mantras. So okay, let me continuously chant the mantras and just surrender to God. I didn't because I didn't want to think. If I start thinking, then I know that like millions of what ifs will start coming, and then I'll go in any direction, and I'll not be able to be there for the family too. So we have a daughter who is 16 years now, 17 years old, and it was not easy for my wife or my daughter. If I also lose it, then it's going to be very difficult. So that's where like I at least based on whatever was there, I was able to move from shock to surrender. Normally, they say there are different stages of grief that people go through. I don't even know like what all stages I went through. I just went directly from the shock to surrender, surrender to God that whatever has happened is beyond my understanding, and if it was meant to be, it is. Uh, as per your wish it has happened. Like a lot of self doubts also start coming, right? Like was I a good dad, or like I should have done, did I do everything that I should have done, so that we could have prevented it? All those kind of things were coming, but I just told God that like yes, uh, there is no way for me to reason it. I just surrender to you, that like you are the one like who can guide. That's all. I was not even thinking. So on the 11th day, when I was sitting in front of his lamp, this again is because like I used to do meditation, so I was aware how to calm my mind, right? Like that is one of the most important things that is necessary in life. That's a very basic skill, but a very important skill also. We miss that. And I was sitting in front of his lamp, and I was meditating. It was 3 a.m. in the morning, and I was completely heartbroken. uh, I didn't know like what is there in life anymore, kind of a thing. Like because like for us, like it's our children, like we want to see them flourish. Like whatever we do is more from for their wellness and well-being and growth, right? So when this happened, I was trying to understand what to do. And then it was as if his name is Krishna. So it was as if Krishna was uh, telling me that whatever I need to do, I have done. Like Krishna as a son, like whatever he needs to do to the family, he's completed that. And whatever we had to do for him, that was also completed. That is why like he is not there anymore. Because a lot of times we think, oh, like I could have been even more loving, even more this that, like whatever, right? Like thoughts I could have given him more, all those thoughts will come. So that's what he was trying to address, to say, if I had to give you $10, I can only give you 10. I cannot give you 11. I cannot give you 9. So if whatever has happened so far is what I was supposed to receive and I was supposed to give. So that exactly matched, and that's why I'm not there anymore. But as long as you are alive, you have duty for your, I mean, like for mom and also for sister. So and also for the universe, like we until our last breath, we have our duty. That's why we are here. And we hear this as a Gita Sar. Lord Krishna gave it, right? Like where he says, do your duty, leave the rest to me. So that is the, we have heard about it multiple times, but when it comes to some things of this sort, and when we are trying to apply it in life in such a situation, that's when we really realize what that truly means. So whatever I did, and still it is not over. Like I still have to do. So I had to find my purpose again. So it is, that is the biggest challenge in resetting our life when some tragedy of this sort happens, right? So I was looking at it more in terms of what is it that I have to do now going forward, because now Krishna, he has gone beyond, but he's still observing. So how can I make him proud, and how can I, what can I do so that his dream can live on? So gladly, when uh, I used to speak with him, I used to ask him, "What is your lifetime dream? Like, how do you see yourself retired?" And he used to always say, like, I love to be with animals. He wanted to build a sanctuary for animals, and he wanted to live amongst them. So I asked the question so that I can help him to say, okay, what all you can do from now on so that you can reach there. And now, like, that became, I took that over as my mission. And I started looking at, okay, like how can I do it? Because he went to Costa Rica. He was there for a um, in an animal sanctuary. He was there for his internship. So how to feed and take care of animals, etc. Those were all wild animals. So when he said animal sanctuary, that's the thought I had. When I went to California for business, I during the weekend I was free, so I went to visit my friend. He asked me, "Do you want to go to a visit a ranch?" So I was not fully sure. I said, "Okay, let's go." Anyway, like I didn't have much to do, and when I went, it was inspired by ISKCON. They had around 30 cows and oxen, and there were some calves also. And those were it is called as a cow sanctuary. And this is where, like, it just connected, everything connected back. It was with the Krishna's flute that was playing. All the cows were so meditative, and this is what we grew up with. Probably like in your homes you have cows too, right? Like, so, and that is something amazing. There is a beautiful energy, grounding energy, and mother's energy that is there with the cows. I was able to understand, okay, this is what he meant, my son meant, when he said a sanctuary for animals. And then I went on Saturday evening. Then on whole Sunday, like I was there, I was doing all the seva, cleaning the place, feeding the cows, all those things. And every Sunday, until I was there almost 5 weeks, I was there every Sunday. I used to go, and more days also if I get a chance. Ram Navami I was able to celebrate there. And that I still have as one of the key things that I want to do here in the Charlotte region. I don't see that any like closer, like we don't have anything like that. And this is something which helps people to heal, to be grounded. And also I started conducting yoga classes every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Time. It is in my son's name, Krishna Foundation. It's like a humble beginning for something big as a project that I want to do at a later point, where the vision is to have a place where all the animals are there, possibly cows and goats and those kind of animals with similar energy. Yes, I love dogs and cats too, but they have a different kind of energy. So these are more calming and more peaceful energy. And this is where like I want to also have some of these yoga, meditation, pranayama, and also healing sessions along with the coaching, mentoring. So all those things can be combined together, where it can be a place for human potential to build, identify, and build the human potential. That's the vision for Krishna Foundation. I was able to understand and receive as part of the journey. Yeah, the spirituality. It's a deeper question. The reason we are here in this life is to become more clearer about this part of ourselves, the spiritual part of ourselves. Yes, we have to take care of things, we have to do our duty in this world, but beyond that, how much of clarity we can gain in this life, that is the only thing we can carry it forward. None of the material things, as you know, we are going to take it forward to the next life. But at least like whatever clarity we get in this life, we can start from that level of clarity in the next life. So instead of starting again from scratch, naturally, like a lot of things we'll be able to grasp and see. Like that's how we see so many young prodigies, right? Like that's because that's where like they left off from the previous life and they just continuing the journey. Yeah, it was a yeah, deeper question, so I took longer to answer that.
Wonderful. Wonderful, Ara, and what a beautiful way to celebrate the memory of our loved ones. And like you said, that it's a deeper question, and understanding is so. You mentioned something, touch with oneself. How does like somebody who's just initiating this journey of spirituality or uninitiated people, how do they know they are in touch with themselves? That's one part of it. And I'll follow it up with the second part of it, and then we'll move towards yoga and pranayama.
Sure, sure. So the moment we identify that we can be better, so that is the moment where we start looking inwards. That is where we start getting in touch with ourselves. So there can be a focus, just external focus, where we are just looking at what others are doing, how to please others, all those things. Like that's one part of the journey. And the other part of the journey is where we start reflecting on our actions and start looking at, okay, why should we bother about what the world talks or thinks about us? There is no need for us to satisfy anybody or take anybody's opinion into account. Yeah, it doesn't mean that we are aloof, but it is more in terms of what is your inner voice. You listen to it primarily, and then yes, if anybody is in sync with that inner voice, you continue to work with them. If somebody is not in sync with that inner voice or the journey or direction, then you respectfully excuse yourself from that situation, so that like you can continue to go towards your goals. So to be in touch starts with first, it can be just a reflection where we are able to spend time on different aspects that we have done throughout the day. So it can start with what is the intention for the day, and then by end of day, how the day went and what are the learnings, what are the plus and minus based on where we want to be. Did it go really that way? Because finally, all that we want, if we have to summarize, right, first is we want to live a very peaceful life. That peace should be there. That is a very basic thing. On top of the peace, we are talking about joy and also love. So when all these three combine, then it becomes bliss, right? So finally, whatever we are trying to do is our whole day designed this way, so that we can continue to experience this, and is it increasing continuously. So that is where we start, and then like from there on, it continues. Like we find different ways to enhance that experience and improve the clarity that we have.
Wonderful. What was our intention for the day? And peace. Are we getting that? The follow up to this question is, Ara, is often like you also mentioned, inner voice. Most of the times, we are not able to distinguish where is this voice coming from, whether it's our mind speaking or it's our heart speaking, or is it coming from the gut.
Yeah.
How does one identify it's the heart that is calling out now?
Which voice to listen to, right?
Which voice to
So
listen to?
correct. So we have got a fantastic question. There are two ways we can very easily distinguish. So one uh, is it based on emotion of fear, or whatever we are getting is more based on emotion of love and possibility. So if it is a fear or a problem or challenge, that means it is more coming from the mind, based on either the environmental conditioning that we have had since our childhood, or our internal voice also, what we keep telling ourselves continuously. So if we start following that or taking that fear based approach all the time, then we don't make those unlimited choices. We make only those limited choices which are playing it safe, and always thinking, oh, like if I go beyond, there's going to be a problem, so okay, stick within that. So then, like, we end up being in the same place, like going in circles. But when the inner voice is more which comes as a possibility, where you see yourself doing something amazing which you have never done before. So that's how inspirations happen, right? Like an inspiration comes that, oh, if I do this, this will be really wonderful. So that inspiration, when you see it, it is more like your enhanced version, where you are expanded, you are in a great state, you are in a great mood, and you are seeing that you are able to do something really wonderful, and others are also able to see that and appreciate and get inspired. So that means it is coming from a place of love or from heart. So that is the part like we should listen to, because the universe, when it is trying to tell us, it doesn't tell us like we call it as asariri, right? Like there's a sound only that comes. So there's not like a loudspeaker somewhere outside. It comes as an inspiration from inside. And that inspiration, when it comes, we will feel super confident, and we will feel that, oh, like if I do this, this will be wonderful. But that doesn't stay continuously. Then like it just slowly goes down, and that's when self-doubt starts coming in. Oh, like if I start doing it, will it happen? I can give you an example in my journey. When I was there in 2016, I was there in Coimbatore, helping my mom. Our home is just next to our school. So I was thinking, I used to work from there. It was 2016 work from home. It was really, I'm grateful for the company that they allowed me to do that at that time. And when that was long before COVID time. So that is where like I was thinking, okay, like I'm taking care of parents and I'm working, and I was doing nothing else. Like it was, I felt like I was in a box or a cave. And I saw that, okay, I'm just living next to my school. If I had known what I know now when I was in school, I would have done even better in my life. So why don't I go to the school and talk to the current students there, so that I can help them to gain more clarity? So this was an inspiration. So the inspiration came. It was really wonderful thought. Oh yeah, like it will be wonderful, because when I used to be in school, whenever people who are not related to academics come and speak, it was like a really nice one. Like, oh, like it opens our mind, and we are like hearing so many different aspects. So that is where I thought, okay, let me do it. So I put together some presentation, and then I went and I spoke to my teacher. My class teacher was the CEO of the school at that time. So I went and spoke to her. She said, yeah, it sounds good, but she didn't understand like how it is going to work, how it's going to help. She said, okay, you can start with the sixth graders. So I did the session. So it was like basic things, like starting from what is gratitude, why we should be grateful, what is the importance of that, and then looking at how to be in the present moment, just giving it in a simple way that forget the past, don't get stuck with guilt. Okay, nothing can be done over there. Only thing you can do from the past is learn the lesson and then move forward. Now from the future, nobody knows how the future is going to be, but all that you can do from your side is ensure that you are doing the right thing to plan, so that your future is going to be better. So no anxiety, no guilt. That means just stay in the present and enjoy, like that, step by step, in a very simple way, where a sixth grader can also understand. So after the session, next day I went to the school. The teacher said, oh, there was so much of feedback from the session, they all enjoyed it. Ninth graders are the most troublesome lot. You please take the session for them. So it was kind of even for me, I was not sure how well it will be received, how well my teacher receive, and how well the students will receive. I was not sure, but I'm really glad I ended up following that inspiration, because the universe told me to do that, because there is somebody who needed to hear that. And I'm really glad I did that. I was able to do it for all the grades. I didn't do it for 12th graders, because yeah, they were busy with their exams and those things at the time. But it also led to, I was invited to give the session in some corporates, my friends officers, and then in colleges. And also I was invited as a keynote speaker for Rotary Club, etc. So I was able to be there in multiple places. And in those sessions, even if one person comes to me and says, oh, I needed this today, it was so inspiring, oh, that kind of made my day. So that was the satisfying part. And that's what led me to me writing this book. This is a book I wrote. It was during COVID I wrote, and I launched it at that time. So this is more around self leadership, and then how we can inspire others also. So it started with that one inner voice, which was an inspiration and which felt as a liberating feeling for me. And I just started following it. One thing led to other, and that's where it ended up with this book. And yes, I love motivational speaking and inspirational speaking, so all that got combined together. So that's where we can differentiate what is that inner voice is. If it is limiting, that means it's coming from the mind, we should ignore it. And if it is liberating, that means it is coming from the right place, from our heart, and that is coming as an inspiration from the universe.
Priyanka, I'll just, because it brings another follow-up question. I'm sorry, I'm
Yes,
hogging all the question
No, no,
yes,
no. Please
please.
carry on.
space.
I'm enjoying the questions as well as the answers. Everything is so motivating right now.
Yeah. So, Ara, another place where there's a lot of doubt. How does one distinguish between belief and values? When I say belief, self beliefs and self values, our core values. And what is the best process, as based on your experience, of going beyond the maze of self beliefs towards our core values?
So beliefs, it can be from outside, or it can be even our inner belief, right? So there are, and it can be even limiting beliefs, or it can be a belief which is more empowering also, right? So as you rightly said, yes, it should all start from the values. So what are the key things that we want to not change at all, right? That is our foundational aspect. So based on my life journey, what I've come to an understanding of spaces, whatever I do, I should not harm myself, I should not harm anyone. So if we can do activities which are aligned to these values, if I can do it, then it might look like a wrong initially when that action is done, but after when the result is there, then it will be clear that yes, we are not harming ourselves and we are not harming others. So then that act itself is not bad. So that's where when we look at it from the different belief systems and different things that are there, and how to go layer by layer to touch upon what is that our inner truth, and what are our passions, what are our callings, and some of the dreams that we get. These are all kind have been with us probably for many births, and we have been carrying it. So what they say is, we take birth for three reasons. First reason is we have to clear our old karmas, whatever pending karmas are there. And the second reason we take birth is to do our duty. And when the old karmas are there, they'll prevent us from doing our duty. So how to clear as quickly as possible, so that like we are able to do our duty. And third one is to fulfill our dreams. If we don't do all these three, then we'll take another birth, we'll need another birth to satisfy all these, or clear all these things, or do the checks. So that is where we have to spend more time with ourselves. More time meaning at least start the day with a slot for ourselves. Like I've heard from so many of high achievers, let it be Jeff Bezos, or let it be Gautam Vasudev Menon, let it be any of those folks like who have been high achievers. I've heard they block their morning for themselves. How much we are able to spend with ourselves to work on our aspects and spend time on planning our day, then that intention setting that we spoke about. So how much clear we are, and how much of clearing we do in the morning, so that much effective our days are. Like Jeff Bezos says, his first meeting starts at 10 a.m. So until then, like, he doesn't get engaged with others, he spends more time on his personal growth and development. So that is the time we are getting to ensure that we get more clear about ourselves and our values, and cross all those different layers that are there, the conditioning that we have. I don't know if it answered your question, Suresh.
No, it was very nicely explained, Nara. But the doubt that still remains: how do I know this is a value and not a belief?
So belief is not bad. Belief is a faith, right? um, so from a value perspective, as I mentioned, for example, we should not harm. So that is a value, right? So I can have a belief that I can be a good person if I'm able to have this value. So it is still not conflicting. So it is just that whether the belief is externally imposed, or is it defined based on internal values. That's what makes a difference. So if you can help me understand where the struggle is, or what's the reason with an example, then I'll be able to also probably better understand your question.
Okay, so now you put me in a spot because I don't really recall. Okay, so when we say we have to do good to others, we have to
Right.
be good to others. Now that's a belief that we are told as we grow up. We have to be good to others. We have to be
Mm,
kind to others.
mm.
But how do I know that kindness is my value and it's not a belief?
So from our natural state perspective, um, if we understand, then things will align. So a lot of times the struggle is when things are externally imposed, like we try to revolt, like we don't like any external imposition. But when we take those rules as internal, when it is coming from our own realization or our own experience, then it becomes a natural way for us to align with that. So that is where I'll say probably it is more a struggle between our mind, our head, and our heart, right? Like our head is more based on all the external conditioning, and then like the internal additional conditioning that we do. But the heart is the one which says, yeah, we should love everyone, we should be peaceful all the time, and we should naturally be happy all the time, so that we can be in that fulfilled state and do whatever we do. And when we do that, then rest of the actions will also be fulfilling to others too. And probably like we cannot make others happy. Some like can feel inspired and do things based on by seeing you, but others, like, yeah, they'll probably have their own struggles, so we can never make anybody else happy. We can only make ourselves more peaceful and happy. So this is where it belief, I feel it's not bad, but again, it's just the direction of it. Like a belief should not influence our value. Our influence should our value should influence the belief. So then it kind of it aligns, and then naturally it'll come. So if you are able to focus on your core part, which is what are my values, what are the things that I cherish, then rest of the things will automatically align.
Yeah, understood. Priyanka, please go ahead.
Great. So, Ara, I think I've been silently listening to your conversations with Shirish, and trust me, they're really invaluable. And I feel that you're a living example of how one can handle grief. Sorry about your son's loss as well. And also, you are somebody who is, always like, if it is something that is coming from within, who will implement it. You will not think twice before, "Arey, how do I do it?" Many a times we procrastinate things, right? We say, okay, well, I don't think I'll be in a position to do it or not, right? So you're somebody who has always implemented as soon as you felt that, it is coming from within. I little bit I'm aware of how spending time with cows benefits you. Definitely, they are the most calm beings, and there is so much love that we get from them. I've been lucky enough to experience that since I've moved to the village. My follow-up question to you, after I've listened to you talked about your love to music, music being your sadhana. You spoke about how to handle grief. You talked about not harming others. We have to be very mindful with our actions, setting the intent for the day. Take one day at a time, set the intent, execute it at the end of the day, follow up, where do we stand, and then begin the next day, and so on and so forth, right? I know that you're also a Reiki healer. We spoke about spirituality as well. Now, how does Reiki healing helps you and others in your contact? Because you also talked briefly about taking yoga classes or meditation classes in the morning, right? So, is Reiki an integral part of it, or would you like to take us like maybe a minute or two talking about Reiki and Reiki healing?
Yes. I was exposed to Reiki from my mom. She was a doctor, as I mentioned, but she was very much interested in spirituality and all this alternate medicine options. And she was a Reiki healer. She wanted me to also get exposed and start doing something, at least like heal myself and take care of my stuff. This was during my college days, and obviously I was too young. I was not ready for it. I never did it at that time. After my mom's passing, I was inspired again. I think it was my mom who was guiding me from beyond, and I was exposed to someone who was also into Reiki. As soon as I heard, oh, okay, like Reiki, yes, I was always thinking about it. I would love to learn, and I learned it. So there are three stages. I was able to complete the Reiki master level also, and I have not done much of in-person healing. So just one or two few friends have done it. It is largely remote healing, and there is something called as a distant healing network. I was talking to one of my relatives, and they mentioned about it. And I think they're based out of Europe, and they share cases from all around the world. And every week they share a case, and uh, I send distant Reiki healing to them. And whoever is in need, like if I'm hearing that somebody is unwell, then I provide Reiki healing from that point of view. So this again is when we hear about Reiki, right? Like pranic healing and so many different techniques are there, and some even unnamed techniques are there. So finally it is all about how we are able to channel the cosmic energy. So why we feel so peaceful around cows is, they say the cows have a way to channel the cosmic energy, and they always have that energy, that aura around them, aura, right? So that energy circle around them. So that is the part, like we can also have, like it, we can call it as reiki. It is with different symbols and different ways, there are different techniques to do it, but finally that is the same, like where we are able to receive the energy, and also we are able to share it. So I've heard also, I was watching some videos, they said we also take up some karmas if we do reiki
Yeah.
healing. So what my understanding is, first is like, if we think we are the one healing, then yes, we'll take the karma because we are not the one, we are just a channel, right? Like that is the whole point of reiki. And if we are able to understand that the cosmic energy, or the energy from the universal center, and which is god, so that is the energy which is healing. If we are able to have that awareness, that is the way to rightly heal. So the way I do it is, like, I'm there, I'm connected to the universal center, and I connect them also directly to the universal center. It is not like I am sending them energy, I'm just helping them to have a clearer channel to the universal center, so that they can continuously receive the cosmic energy. And that is, as you know, just like how a child is connected to the mom through the umbilical cord. The
Yeah.
child is not even aware, but it continues to receive the nourishment. The same way, we have a silver thread or a cord that is connecting us all the time to the universal center or God. And that cord is that mother's energy, that goddess energy that connects us. And all that's required is for us to be aware, and to clear the channel, ensure that like there is no resistance in that channel. So as long as that is there, then naturally we will feel that connection. And that's the whole point of those weekly sessions of yoga also that we do, where it is to refresh and say that it is very natural for us to be always in that energy flow. And once we are able to make that happen, then obviously yes, there is no better healer than god, right? Like if you're able to allow the cosmic energy to flow, rest of the things will get washed away. So that's the whole experience. And I've been able to initially, it was a lot of times we feel some things are out of our control, right? Like it might be whether our kids or some situations, or some things which are beyond our control. So that is where I was leveraging also reiki.
Mhm.
So whenever I uh, go for a meeting or something, at least like if I'm able to fill that positive energy in the meeting, then the environment is a lot more trusting, and the relationship is better that way. So whatever we are able to accomplish, we are able to discuss openly, and we are able to do make things happen. So that way, that anxiety part can be easily removed. So that's how I apply the reiki. So some things where I'm not in control, I just send the remote reiki energy, so that way things can work out in a better possible way. And I've seen, like, at least like I'm not reacting with anxiety because of the out of control things beyond our control, right? So
That's incredible and beautiful at the same time, right? Uh, just for the listeners, who are listening us for the first time, we have done a complete entire episode with another Reiki healer, Delna Rajesh, but the whole episode was centric on Reiki. So I would encourage them to also look at that in case if they want to know about it in detail. Uh, uh, I mean, in the interest of time, Ara, I have a quick question. Like we touched upon your spiritual aspect. We talked about Reiki healing. We know who you are by now. We talked with the musician Ara too, right? I'm interested and intrigued because we have not covered the corporate experience and exposure that you have. Because you've been to different continents, you've launched many businesses, and I am intrigued personally to know what do you mean by conscious leadership, right? You you say that. So how does that work? And I'm literally interested, and I'll in fact talk to you offline as well to understand how I can learn more about it. So if you can
Yes.
briefly touch upon this point, basis on your overall experience of 2 decades in the industry, or I think even more than that. Yeah.
Correct. So, as you know, leadership doesn't come just with a title, right? Like they can make you a director or a VP or a CEO also, but your team should feel that you are in that right position, right? So, and that is where like it's a two-way street. A lot of times in corporate world, unfortunately, people just focus on making sure the boss is happy. They don't worry about how the team who they're working with and leading and how their peers feel about themselves, right? So that is where things completely go wrong. But the whole way of improving productivity is to shift it around, where if our team is happy and if your team is able to deliver their best when they are able to work, then they also develop as better leaders because they are learning how to be a leader by observing you. And obviously if your team is productive, your department is productive, your company can be productive, or whatever initiative you are doing can be productive. So when I say architect of conscious leadership, so this is something like my book also, like a leadership transcending the future, so that is the theme. So it doesn't start from doing an MBA or getting some titles in a corporate, right? So it starts from us, and the journey is more even in a corporate world, that's what we say, right? It starts with self leadership. So how can we lead ourselves better? So that's, it doesn't happen without focusing on self development. And when we talk about self development, it doesn't come without having some practices, where we should have practices to take care of our body, which is more around exercises or yoga, gymming, sports, like whatever, and also our mind and emotions, right? Like all those are also very important. So there are different techniques, mindfulness, meditation, pranayama, different practices to help that happen. So it all starts from that basic foundation. So when I say conscious leadership, it is more to not just go with what is the external thing or reference, but it is more from how much we are able to inspire someone to do it. So there are two ways to make things happen, right? Either we can take a stick, or we can show them that this is the way they can do it, right? And true leaders are like the ones who can inspire the team, and whatever result comes, it'll be multiple times more when it comes out of inspiration, instead of it being oh, like if I'm not doing it, I'm not going to have a job. So then like nobody will like coming back to the job, they'll be looking for some other job, right? So that is the key part of it. And the 25 years of experience that I've had, of that, like I started, as I mentioned, more as a entrepreneurship journey where we were building our own company. And then after that, it was corporate life, and I had a lot of great leaders I was exposed to, and I understood the corporate journey. I was in Ford, as I mentioned. We were part of one of the partner companies implementing the Ford information technology services in India when they started in Chennai, and that was in 2001. And then like I was in Thailand and Johnson and Johnson, and I was there for an year in California. That was more on the electronics side, OEM side. And later, I settled down with Lowe's, almost 16 years with Lowe's in different leadership roles. And throughout the journey, that's what I understood. And this conscious leadership that I had, it helped me to build good relationships with within my team members, and also with other team members. And based on the job I was in, like I was taking care of integration. That means like we interact with so many different systems. So that way, like that was a required skill also. And that helped me to also, when I started my entrepreneurial journey, so that was a great segue for me to also start building my own business and my own teams with that conscious leadership. So this again in 2020, 2022, I started my journey with building my businesses in part time. And when the time was right, I decided to go full time with my businesses. So my wife wanted to build after school learning centers. So this was in 2016. I supported her to get started, and she is very passionate and very hardworking, and she has built two more centers after that. And I started building financial services business. So this was a game changer business because I understood how to build businesses. What is a business? A lot of times when we start working on business, Suresh being in the business world, like we end up sometimes doing working in the business. So instead of working in the business, we should work on our business. So that difference I didn't understand until I started the financial services business, how to build the business so that it can explode into multiple other things. So that particular foundational business helped me to get into other areas. I started a business also in lithium ion battery manufacturing. It's again a completely a different line area of business. And then also into food technology. So it is again a completely other area of business. But again, based on what I see as fitting better with what I'm doing, and also aligned to my key three principles: health, wealth, and happiness. So whatever I do, like this is what how our parents used to bless, right? Like say, okay, you should have health, wealth, and happiness. That's how life is complete. So whatever I do, I wanted to make sure that it is aligned to these three areas. From a health perspective, it is all around the yoga, meditation, all those different foundational aspects. And also we are working with Dr. Paul. We are working on launching uh, uh, subscription meal option here, gut friendly subscription meals in US. So Dr. Paul is a influencer. He's a gastroenterologist. He's based in Sacramento. He's from Chennai, and he's part of our team. And we are about to launch probably in a month's time or so. We'll have the subscription meals all around US, and so that is aligned to gut health. Like a lot of times, yes, gut, we know it's a second brain, but we don't get an opportunity for us to cook the right things or do the right things which can help our gut. So that is where like those gut friendly meals will be available, and that is around the health side of things. And then like we are talking about a wealth side, that's where the financial services things come, and also some of the other initiatives that I have in energy side. And happiness side is more the entertainment things that we do. So when we go for a concert, we want to be on the stage, not really go for a concert. That's kind of the mode that we are working on. So yeah, that's how it is aligned. That's a quick uh, wrap up of the corporate journey
Yeah, yeah.
based on your question.
And you really sum it up really well, right? Health, wealth, and happiness. And after all, I think if you're not healthy, your wealth is not going to help you at all. So the
Right.
start also is perfect, like health, wealth, and happiness. So that's incredible. Um, how do we now? From my end, I think most of the questions I have asked. Shrish, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing just last very
Okay,
very simple, very short question.
fine.
If you had the opportunity of going back to what you were, like the age of 20 years, what would you do differently now? What would you like to do differently?
Yeah. I was in Chennai at that time. One of the I watched in 2009. I watched a movie called as Iram. That's a Tamil movie. I don't know if you both know about it. So it was a fantastic one. I was watching a Tamil movie after a long time in California, and I was amazed at the quality of the work. And much later, after some 5 years or so, I understood that was my benchmate who was a director. So he was he was assistant of Shankar, director Shankar, and assisted him in quite a few movies like Shivaji, and just before the Robo Indiran movie, he started working on this movie, and he started, and that is where, like, though I was very much interested in the creative field, and being in Chennai, I didn't make the effort to understand what else is there. um, and again, like, for example, the training part that I mentioned about, when my friend invited, it was not my friend who was inviting, it was the universe telling me, okay, why don't you check it? But I was not open at that time. I had my own prejudice, so I probably lost a lot of opportunities because I was closed. But I understood it much later. I started saying yes, and that's changed my life a lot. When I was in uh, Bangkok, I loved scuba diving. I was checking like if anybody does, and then like I heard one of my program managers does, and he said, "Okay, let's go." And we went to Koh Tao. I enjoyed the scuba diving. I'm an advanced scuba diving certified diver. But on top of it, like he said, okay, let's go for a jog. He was around 60 at that time. And I was in my 30s. And like we started running. I thought, okay, 60-year-old, how much he's going to run? It's okay. I can manage. Not even 5 minutes. I couldn't even run. He was not even running fast because I never was a runner before. I was so ashamed. And then, like, I said, look, I have to excuse myself. No, I cannot do it. I don't want my heart to stop. I was just 30 at the time. And then, like, I started running. I started running slowly. And then I enrolled myself for a 12K. And I was able to finish. I was very slow. Like, still, like, I'm not a great runner and all, but I've done three half marathons so far. And also, like, when I went to Belgium, I learned skiing. When I came to US, I did mountain biking. So like that, like wherever I am, like I got into that yes mode, so that I'm able to do that. So this realization, if I had it when I was in 20, I would have done a lot more. So it started a little late, but at least I'm glad. Everything has its own timing, so I don't have any regrets in life, even from our son's perspective. Yeah, a lot of things are beyond our control. Whatever it is how it is supposed to be. Things, if I can change it, I would have been God. I'm not God, so I have to just align to whatever life is giving. So at this moment, I feel I'm just getting started. There are so many things that has to be done. And again, like, I was even surprised, like, why are you guys interested in this podcast with me? Because I feel I've not done anything. Like, there is so much more to do. And that is where, from life perspective, what I'm getting to understand at some at the current moment, whatever I have to do, I am given the opportunity to do. If I can do it to the best of my ability. For example, this podcast is an opportunity that was given to me, and what can I do to do the best? So same, like, if I'm able to do some presentation, can I do my best? So that is all is in our hands. Beyond that, yes, we expect so many other results, so many other things should happen. All those things will happen whenever the time is right. It will happen. So this is the understanding I've come to, so that is giving me the stability. Thank you for all the fantastic questions. Wonderful, very
Thank you,
thoughtful.
Ara. And I sum up this with very short line: say yes, surrender, and move from the space of love. That's what I take away from the episode. Thank you so much, Ara, for your time, for
And
the
this I learned
learnings.
from my son, actually. He was a very kind
Yes,
soul. He was the one who taught me to be work
yeah,
from.
that was such a beautiful incident that you mentioned, Ara, sitting in front of the lamp and the realization that came to you. I've squared my accounts. It's your time. Do your bit. Thank you. And thank you, Priyanka, for, I would say, being in this space with us. Thank you, Ara.
Thank you. Really enjoyed. Really appreciate.
Thank you.